All right, a Harvard sorority just announced they're going gender neutral. Kappa Alpha Theta, if that's their real name, will actually be changing its name, delinking itself from its national chapter, all because Harvard penalizes its members by withholding student leadership positions as well as other perks, while still charging them, of course, 60 grand a year. I know, it's hard to care about a Harvard sorority. Talk about a rough life. But it's a slow news day. And clubs by nature are clubby. People join based on shared traits, hobbies, and so on. If you like stamps, you join a stamp club. If you like motorcycles, you join the Hells Angels. In high school, I couldn't join the boys' chorus because I couldn't sing, and I couldn't join the girls' chorus because I went to an all-boys school. I could only sing in the shower, often by myself. It was pure hell, but I managed. But the irony of forcing inclusivity on clubs is that inevitably clubs go away. It's not worth the trouble. Society's now in a gender panic, where it's scandalous to say that boys and girls are different and that they like different things. I've yet to run into a single male who likes Maroon 5.
She will be loved. She will be loved.
I think you see my point there. And so, social circles will likely fold to pressure from self-serious college administrators. Maybe that's why everyone prefers to live on social media, for maybe it more closely resembles real life with friends, enemies, insults, jokes, insights, and genius. And it's 60 grand a year cheaper. Is it true, Dana?
I think that that's true. You make a very good point.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I wish I knew which one it was.
Well, that people like to be in a club, right? Because if you're on social media, remember it was just last week that actor, Dual Pass, whatever, got in trouble because with all of his friends and his club because he said, maybe if you want to follow somebody that might not totally agree with you, try Ben Shapiro. And then, okay, then his club wanted to oust him.
Yes.
And also a huge concern right now for people is the destruction of civil society.
Right.
And part of that is that people don't belong to clubs anymore.
You need clubs.
Like Rotary Club, things like that. People would get together and do things, put on the parade, have the event, help assimilate immigrants, things like that. This is actually a very interesting point that you made.
Yes, you know, Juan, okay, there are black fraternities. People would go crazy if you tried to say, okay, black fraternities have to accept white people, or gay fraternities have to accept straight people. I mean, a sorority is a sorority anymore if it is gender neutral, I guess?
I think its roots are as a female organization. But I mean, so much of this is kind of reactionary, if you will. I mean, like you were talking about black fraternities, black sororities. Guess what? They were created because they weren't, black people were not allowed into the white ones, right?
Good point.
And with the women's thing, it's interesting. You know, the male fraternities are the ones, especially at places like Harvard, Princeton, Yale, they're the ones that have all the tradition and the power and the secret societies. And
Skull
women,
and Bones.
Right, and women for the longest time were saying, hey, how come we can't get in? You know, I mean, what was the Radcliffe, right, was the girls' school, and Harvard, the boys' school. Remember, all that's shifted. So we've seen changes. And for the most part, I think it's good, Greg. I think that you should be able to go, but the worry would be that, and I think you hear this from a lot of women who argue that you need women's schools, women's colleges, because that's where women get to be stronger.
This is so stupid. It's so dumb. If someone wants to start a club and everyone calls themselves a Z, why not? You do your thing. Why can't I be a part of a sorority and we're all she's? I just think that this is so stupid. And I also think it just underscores and demonstrates the totalitarianism of the left, in the sense if they don't like something, they shut it down. We were seeing this with free speech as well, now with free association, and I think it's a big problem. And I just think I just think it's so stupid. I don't even have the words for it. It doesn't make sense to me.
Wait a second.
And I liked being in a sorority in college. Lay off.
They didn't shut it down.
No, but but they're penalizing you to a point where it makes it very difficult to try to be a part of one. So you're making
no.
They're coercing.
If you remain closed. You should be
exactly. So you can no longer be a sorority or a fraternity. Therefore, if you do as a single gender organization, then you get punished by the administration through things like through things like barring people from holding
but
leadership
Lisa,
positions, things of that nature.
You can
How
still
is that
be
fair?
open. You can still be a sorority.
But then go join another club, and everyone can be whatever you want to be.
Jesse,
you can all be unicorns. I don't care.
Hey, leave unicorns out of this. Jesse, we keep hearing about how important it is to have safe spaces. Couldn't you argue that a sorority is a safe space for women, and fraternities are? I mean, it's like it's kind of strange.
Men kind of wouldn't mind. fine living with women, but women do not want to live with men. We're disgusting, and we're loud and obnoxious, and we're going to be making all kinds of loud noises in the middle of the night. They need their space to be girls. Yeah. Guys don't necessarily need that because we just like sprint out and do our thing. This is why I didn't go to Harvard. I mean, this is, you know, I can't stand. What's so funny? What's so funny? I don't know why everyone's laughing. I would also like to apologize on behalf of the Five to Adam Levine. I think he's a good singer, and I like Maroon 5.
You did raise your hand. For everyone at home, you raised his hand when your Maroon 5 point.
I don't know. I think it's about busybodies.
Yeah.
This is one of it's like the straws. And it's like there's a lot.
There was no one complaining
because there's so much good news. They have nothing left to complain about.
They go after sororities. Well, I think we all learned a lesson here that Jesse has terrible taste in music. All right,
true.
You do. Come on, Maroon 5. Do you actually listen to that?
Yeah. Listen, you had thrash metal on the bump in.
Iron Age.
Everyone in the
Check out
audience's
Iron Age.
ears
They have
is
one
bleeding.
album. It's very good. Iron Age is music. Maroon 5.
It was someone running over a trash
Music in
can.
the Iron Age was actually not very good.
Oh, it was great. Oh, jeez, give him a chance.
In the Iron Age.
Oh, in the Iron Age. Very funny. All right.
40 jokes.
40 jokes.
The Attorney General of the United States yesterday describing life on America's campuses. He was at Turning Point USA's High School Leadership Conference. Let's bring in Fox News contributor Tommy DeLaren. Joins us from the West Coast. Tony, what do you make of the president, or rather the Attorney General's comments regarding these sanctimonious snowflakes on America's campuses?
Well, he's right on the money, and I think folks that have watched me know exactly how I feel about snowflakes. But this is really a bigger epidemic going on our college campuses and now our high school campuses and all the way down to elementary school. And it's not just that kids go to college and they're surrounded by liberal classmates and liberal professors. I think the real problem here is that conservative and independent students go to college and they forget how to stand up for themselves. And I think that's the real problem, is that they have safe spaces for liberal ideas, but conservative ideas, they don't even get a platform with which to speak. So I think that's the real issue we have on our hands.
He was calling out a number of schools, including Middlebury College in Vermont, University of California at Berkeley, saying that they have actively tried to silence conservative speakers. There's a report that at the top 45 colleges, no conservative was invited to give the commencement speech. Is this going to backfire, or, you know, what are your thoughts about that? Is this going to hurt the Democrats and some of these liberal campuses in the long run?
I think it will, as people get smarter and they understand that our free speech zone is the United States of America at large and not the zones that college campuses arbitrarily put in place. But beyond that, when we're looking at college campuses, I think it's important to understand that truth has become the new hate speech. And it's not just college campuses, but it's also in the media. So it's important for conservative speakers, independent speakers, libertarian speakers to show up on college campuses and not be allow themselves to be bullied, harassed, and turned away. We're just going to have to be a little bit louder. We're going to have to utilize social media, and we're going to have to make it more of an issue. Otherwise, college campuses are just going to be the bastions of liberal indoctrination, and we will never win that battle.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, Tommy, too.
We're invited first.
Yeah, we're gonna talk to two people about that very issue, including Zach Wood, who was just on this couch, who said, I was at Williams College, I'm a liberal, but went out of my way to invite conservatives, and he got big pushback. But meanwhile, the President of the United States took a very aggressive tone against the Iranian leaders after they tried to call out America and threatened us with war. We used to look the other way. Not under this president. You say it shows the apology tour is over?
Well, absolutely. Isn't it nice to finally have a president that leads from a position of strength? And for all those that are outraged by this, they're the same folks that were upset just last week because the president tried to establish diplomatic relations with Russia, now outraged that he was too mean to Iranian leaders. So you can see the double standard at play there. But I believe that this president being tough on world leaders is exactly what has worked. We saw it work in North Korea. And I think soon as liberals understand that we didn't elect this president to be nice, we elected him to get things done, and he has, maybe they'll understand the strategy and they'll get on board.
Well, it is a kind of strategy. It does appear, the tough talk, because the president yesterday in Kansas City at the VFW convention, Tommy, said that Iran no longer the same country it was a while ago, and he's ready to make a deal. He said, not like that last deal made by the last administration, but this administration is ready to make a deal when they are.
Well, it really wasn't much of a deal. It was a concessions list, and this president is not going to do that again. And this president comes to the table, as I said, from a position of strength, unlike the last administration who cowered in the corner. So that's how we get results. We're seeing it time and time again, and I think it really actually drives the liberals crazy how effective this president is, because he's unconventional. Yes, he uses Twitter diplomacy, but guess what? It works. And as long as it's working, as long as it's bringing peace about in the world, they should be happy with it. But I'm not going to hold my breath on that one.
Good luck.
Yeah. Thanks, Tommy.